Hello everyone, today we are diving into the Reze arc, also known as the Bomb Girl arc. This is one of the most emotional arcs I've ever read since started reading manga. It's a mix of action and heartfelt moments, so let's get right into it. The chapter starts with Makima telling Power that she needs a blood drain since she drank too much in her previous battle. Surprisingly, Denji doesn't know what's a blood drain, but once he learns it prevents Power from becoming even more scary, he's cool with it. Well, since Power is going to be away, Denji needs a new teammate, Beam, a shark fiend, who for some odd reason would do anything Denji says. I mean anything. Denji makes it clear that he's not into dudes, but the funny thing is that no one asked if he was into dudes. With a turn of events, Makima asks Denji out on a date, and we know he's dying inside with excitement. He was so excited that he came to the cinema at 5 AM in the morning. Now that's dedication. Since he's a beta male, he's nervous and he asks what's the plan of the day, and Makima, being the alpha in this relationship, she plans to watch a lot of movies. As they watch these movies, Denji always compares his reactions to Makima's to see if she's enjoying the movie, which we all do. The final movie was emotional as Denji starts to cry and wanted to hide his emotions from Makima, who was also in tears. After leaving the cinema, Denji asks a strange question. Do you think I have a heart? Makima turns to him and rests her head gently on his chest. With an emotional filled gaze, she whispered the simplest, most heartfelt words, "You do," as she walks away. Chapter 40. This chapter starts with Denji reflecting on Makima's touch and her words, leaving him starstruck as he realizes that he has a heart. Denji sees a fundraiser for children. He donates and in return, he receives a flower, which he eats like a lollipop, leaving the civilian confused. Denji keeps reflecting on Makima's words as he vows that she's the only girl he would be romantically interested in. As it starts to rain, he took cover in a phone booth as a young woman enters the booth with him. She looked at him for a moment and said, "You look like my dog who had passed away." Denji freezes, unsure how to respond. Denji starts gagging and brought up the flower he had eaten earlier and gifted it to her. As the rain stopped, she invited him to come to her job as she needed to thank him for the flower. As the young lady enters her job, Denji is already waiting for her. Confused, she asks, "How did you get here so fast?" Denji says that he's only here for his thank you. The young lady joined his booth and ordered a coffee from her boss, keeping in mind that she's a waiter at this cafe. Denji starts drinking his coffee, and she could tell by his dead dog face that he hates it. She starts giggling and touching him, and as any virgin guy would, he starts overthinking, thinking that this girl might like him. She introduces herself as Reze and she says he's the funniest guy she ever met. Okay, now a slight disclaimer. If you recently broke up or you're single as hell, the first half of this arc will get your emotions up. You will feel lonely and you will miss or crave that feeling of love. I'm telling you this because I felt it. So yeah, that's a disclaimer. Chapter 41. This chapter starts with Aki talking about wanting to kill more devils to earn respect within the organization, while the angel devil just wants to sit and eat some ice cream. We can all relate to the angel devil for some reason. Now, Aki reflects on Makima's words, telling him that the angel devil is the second strongest devil within Division 4. Later, they stand over the corpse of a devil as they see someone who appears to be a devil hunter in the body begging to be put to rest. Aki asks the angel devil if his ability allows them to die painlessly, but in reply, the angel devil says, "I think humans should die in pain," as Aki uses his sword to stab the man, putting him to rest. Denji starts to question if his heart truly belongs to Makima. Reze joins him at his table where he mentions that he can't read and wishes he had gone to school. Reze suggests that they should check out the school after, as Denji keeps meditating on the words, "My heart belongs to Makima, but his body feels otherwise." Somewhere else, a beat-up man speaks to the Tycoon Devil, asking why devils are after the Chainsaw Heart. The Tycoon Devil instantly shuts the man up, reminding him of the deal they made, which is lending his power in return for Denji's heart. Chapter 42. Later that night, Denji and Reze are walking through the campus holding hands, pretending to be students and teachers. We can see Denji being love-struck. Reze asks if being a devil hunter at such a young age is good for him, since people his age go to college and live a life without worrying that their death is right around the corner. Denji replies that his job is great. He now gets 3 meals a day and a bed to sleep. Reze suggests that they go to the pool and cool off as she starts to undress. Denji, being a virgin, starts to get flustered about seeing a girl naked. Reze teases him about being afraid to join her since he can't swim, and as any male would do, once someone teases you about not being able to do something, we instantly do it. Denji jumps in the pool with Reze as they laugh and giggle together, having a great time. While waiting for the rain to stop, Reze asks Denji if he'd rather be a tongue mouse or a city mouse, switching to Aki and the angel devil, who is explaining the same story. The country mouse lives a safe life but doesn't get to eat all the delicious food, while the city mouse lives a fast and dangerous life while enjoying some of the most delicious food ever. Continuing with Denji, he said he prefers a city mouse, while the angel devil says he was a tongue mouse, but Makima captured him and forced him to be a city mouse. After hearing this, Reze invites Denji to a food festival. As she leaves the room, Denji is amazed by how cute she is, starting to imagine the two of the girls that his heart and body are in love with. As Reze is heading to the bathroom, she was approached by a scarred man holding a knife. Chapter 43. Now, before getting into this chapter, look at this cover. It's like so majestic. Now, if you want some Chainsaw Man poster, check out my store where you can find them for a very affordable price. The link is going to be in the description, and yeah, let's continue. The chapter continues with Reze being chased by the ugly scarred pervert onto the roof. The scarred man is threatening Reze with some of the most graphic lines I've ever heard. He says that he's going to skin her face and show it to Denji and then tell him that this woman is still alive. Now, at this time, knowing that Reze is still alive, he would do anything to save her, the scarred man explained, and after that he'll just kill him. The man attacks and Reze swiftly puts him in a chokehold and he starts to faint. She sings a Russian lullaby. She casually looks at the drain nearby where she sees the tycoon devil and he apologizes for causing any trouble. She orders him to get rid of the body. Now this makes me wonder, how strong is Reze? And whoa. The next day, Reze and Denji are at the food festival where they're trying all kinds of food, having an amazing time. As night falls, they find themselves at a hill, the perfect viewing for fireworks, just as Reze boss suggested. Such a kind man. Maybe she should do her work next time. Reze told Denji that she doesn't like the idea of making a 16-year-old fight devils with death right around the corner, not even letting him go to school. It shouldn't be allowed by the government. As she asks him to run away with her, she pulls closer, telling him that she's going to make him happy and protect him with all her life as she kisses him. Now, if this were a romance manga, this would be the perfect love story where a broken guy meets this amazing girl. She gives him the feeling of peace, love, and the care he never got. It would have been an amazing story, probably one of my favorites. But this isn't a romance story, it's Chainsaw Man. The remainder of this arc is gonna mess you up emotionally, mentally. You're gonna feel betrayed, you'll feel hurt, you'll scream, and you'll wonder, why did I ever think it's going to end well? So let's continue. Suddenly, Denji falls back in shock, looking at Reze, who bit his tongue. As he tries to reach for his cord, Reze instantly slashes his finger. She gives him one of those apologetic kisses, saying, "I'm going to take your heart now. Okay?" Suddenly, Beam, Denji's newly found best friend, swoops in and starts running with Denji. Beam starts to curse himself, saying, why didn't he realize she smelled like a bomb? Reze pulls a pin on her neck, revealing her devil form. She uses an explosion to launch herself closer to Beam. Chapter 45. She offers Beam a deal where he gives her Denji and she will let him go. Beam, being a true friend, transforms himself into a shark and attacks Reze. Reze stops Beam's attack with one arm, hitting him with an explosion, causing him to become unconscious. Suddenly, a few civilian devil hunters appears in front of Reze, thinking they are a match for her. She instantly blows them up, showing no mercy. At the same time, while Reze was distracted, Beam made a run for it while taking Denji with him. At a nearby Division 2 trading facility, Aki is sparring with some officers. Nomo requests Aki works for Division 2 in return that he will be vice captain in 5 years. Suddenly, Nomo asks Aki to get downstairs immediately, where we see a nearly dead Denji, and Beam informs Aki that the bomb devil is coming. Before Reze can attack the two Division 2 hunters, they use an unknown devil ability to grow mold within her organs, causing her to cough up blood. The ability will cause the mold to continue to grow even if she regenerates. Reze fires a blast, causing her head to come off, which she uses as a grenade. Distracted by what happened, Reze transforms into her devil form and rushes towards the two hunters, while a headless torso rushes to Nomo. He uses his Fox Devil attack, dodging the attack as she grabs him before exploding. Suddenly, the Division 2 lieutenant appears, summoning Khan to swallow her, which which wasn't completely successful. Meanwhile, Aki prepares to take unconscious Denji and beam away, while ordering the angel devil to give blood to Denji, which he complies. Aki was unfortunately shown a horrific future from the future devil as Reze appears in front of the vehicle holding the two heads of Nomo and the two Division 2 lieutenants. Chapter 47. Reze states that she killed them to show her power but preferred to keep the killing to a minimum. Aki becomes Drift King and swerves around Reze, attempting to escape. Reze leaps on top of the car, saying that the car will catch fire because of the gasoline, when suddenly a random fiend comes in with a brutal kick, when after he realized that was a really big mistake since he instantly wants to give up, saying that this calls for a tactical retreat, which was honestly super funny when reading it for the first time. As Aki tries to get Denji away from Reze, Angel Devil notices that she's moving towards them, landing on a truck right behind them. As Denji continues to drink blood, Aki tells the other that he's planning on ramming the car directly into her as their last resort to keep her away from Denji. And suddenly, Denji transforms into the chainsaw devil, slicing his way out of the car, saying that he has Makima as he leaps towards Reze. Chapter 48. The battle starts between Reze and Denji, and it's explosive, like literally. She leaps towards Denji, launching an explosion, causing Denji to fly into a wall. Reze starts to coach him, saying that he isn't applying his power. He just swings the chainsaw around and hopes he gets a hit, as she detonates a bomb that was stuck onto his chainsaw. Denji launches herself towards Reze, hoping to catch her off guard, which again proves to be useless as she detonates another bomb, sending him high in the night sky. She also launches herself up, transforming her leg into a missile, piercing Denji's torso, cutting him in half while holding his head like a trophy. As she walks with Denji's head, Aki sneaks up on her and chops her hands off. Chapter 49. Aki knows that one single mistake will lead to his death. Reze is fast as she turns her arm into another missile, causing an explosion which Aki barely gets out. Reze calls a timeout, saying that she's naked and it's two of them. Galgali, being gullible, says she's right, while Aki says no. Reze calls for backup and we see this ugly ass baby appearing, whose name is Tycoon. We get to see the angel devil and Beam feeding Denji some blood in hope of his survival. Denji rises as he chooses to kill Reze but says that she's really strong. Beam transforms into a shark and allows Denji to ride him like a horse. Chapter 50. Denji manages to slice off Reze's leg, but the Tycoon devil heals her with blood. Both Reze and Denji express their excitement for this fight. Meanwhile, the angel devil is thrown back and Aki struggles to hold on to a sight. The angel devil tells Aki to let go as he has already accepted his death, but Aki refuses and pulls him to safety. The angel devil is upset, realizing that Aki's action cost him 2 months of his life. Aki says he doesn't want to watch more people die in front of him. Denji and Beam easily defeat the Tycoon devil, but Reze attacks from above, injuring Denji and Beam as Denji crawls out of Beam's mouth, revealing that Beam took most of the blast. On a rooftop, Reze playfully asks Denji to give up. Chapter 51. Reze flicks a small blast at Denji, erupting his right arm and igniting him with fire. Moving closer, an irritated Reze asks him to accept death. She comments that he has nowhere else to run, with Denji pointing out that the ocean is right behind, reminding her that she taught him how to swim. She flicks another blast at his other arm. As the smoke clears, it reveals that Denji managed to keep his arm attached to his torso by placing the chains between his shoulder and forearm. Flinging the chains at Reze, he manages to wrap her up before leaping into the ocean. Unable to explode whilst wet, Reze sinks to the bottom. She reawakens the next morning in her human form, lying next to Denji and an unconscious Beam near the beach. She asks him why he revived her. As he responds, he did it for his own happiness, as he felt that allowing her to be captured or killed would haunt him. She reminds him that she could easily kill him, to which he playfully responds, "If I'm gonna die, at least let it be at the hands of a beautiful woman." Reze begins to laugh, telling him that she never really liked him, and every flirtatious interaction was part of her plan. As she starts to leave, then she asks to leave with her and go on a run. Questioning him, he tells her that he genuinely likes her and reminds her that even if all her comments were a lie, she still taught him how to swim, implying genuine affection to some level. Reze moves closer to him before swiftly slapping his neck and walking away. As she leaves, Denji calls out, inviting her to the cafe that day at noon if she changed her mind about running away together. Later that day, Denji packs his bag and heads to the cafe. Chapter 52. Aki and Kisebe watches the cleanup of the previous night's battle. Kisebe tells Aki about a Soviet urban legend regarding a military branch that kidnaps orphan children to train them as soldiers and use them as test subjects. He explained that this story was later confirmed true when an American journalist found evidence. Kisebe reveals that Reze was one of those children, calling them guinea pigs. Meanwhile, Reze in disguise heads to a train station to escape. On her way, she donates money to the same charity as Denji and receives a flower to remind her of Denji. However, once Reze reaches the station, she gazes at the flower she received and chose not to enter the tree, walking towards the cafe to meet Denji. As she moves through the alleyway, she begins to smile with anticipation. However, suddenly a mob of mice ran by her feet, forming a large pillar in front of her. A voice is heard from within as it reveals Makima. She reveals that she prefers the country mouse in reference to the conversation between Reze and Denji a few nights prior. However, Makima reveals her reason for liking the country mouse to be based on her enjoyment of capturing and killing them, as an activity she describes as giving herself peace of mind. Reze moves to pull the pin on her neck, however, her arm was instantly chopped off. She then pulls out a knife she had behind her back, trying to stab Makima in the back, but she was impaled by a spear thrown from the rooftop by the angel devil. As Reze slowly bleeds out, she tries to pull the pin on her neck, but Makima takes her hand and stops her. Looking to the cafe, Reze thinks of Denji, thinking of the reason she didn't kill him on the first date, because she'd never been to school either. Okay, so that's it for the Reze arc. I actually can't wait to see this animated. Mappa is going to do an amazing job with this fight, and I'm 100% sure the romantic relationship between Reze and Denji is going to be improved so much by Mappa's writers. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. Hope you guys enjoyed.